Saturday, October 3rd, 2020. Press any key. Wait, why did I read that out loud? I am tired. Weirdstein Company criticized for unfair depictions of werewolf in their latest box office hit. Coachella 2020, do's and don'ts. Atlantic ambassador in talks with FIRE regarding immigration. I forget what FIRE stands for. It's like the Federal Investigative... something something? Welcome. Hey Starbriar. Good evening, Freya. You look very cheerful today. And it's all thanks to you. What did I do? I finally got a good night's sleep last night. Like, I slept like a log. A proper 12 hours, nice. A proper 12 hours of closing my eyes and not thinking about anything. Good for you. You really needed that. I know. But I had the deadline coming, and I've been pushing myself to finish this draft. A bit too much, I guess. Speaking of which, gingerbread coffee, sweetened with brown sugar to satisfy the cookie monster. It sounds good, gingerbread coffee. A bit too much, I guess. So, how's it going? You won't believe this. I probably will. But when I woke up this afternoon, the words just flowed through me like water, and not force crap like I've been writing recently. And that's why taking a break is important. Yeah. You don't need to start lecturing me now. So, what's your plan now? Now, as in right at this moment? I'm planning to go to the bathroom and wash my face. And after that, I'll continue writing. Sounds like a solid plan. You know where the restroom is. She's gonna work on her novel some more. Okay, I need something to drink now. Freya, you're unemployed. Don't waste your money on coffee shop drinks. That is so weird, coming from the coffee shop owner. I know. You've been a regular for years. If you only need the vibes of the place, just write here. No, I can't do that. You don't have any customers tonight. What would I do if this place went bankrupt? It won't happen. How can you be so sure? Just take this tap water and go do your work, okay? But... See? There's a customer coming. See? I predicted the word. There's a customer coming right now. So don't you worry about me. Oh. Yep, not like anyone pays. We've never seen any payment. Hi, Gala. What's wrong? I know you're a man of few words, but this is maybe pushing it a bit. Freya? Starbriar? I am truly very sorry for what happened yesterday. Gala. Hey, it's alright. No one got hurt, right? And the coffee shop's fine. Don't think about it too much, Gala. Like Freya said, no casualties and no problems with the coffee shop. I still need to redeem myself for the mess I made, and the scare I gave you. I'm sure there's something I can do. Why don't you buy something for the lady here? I'm sure she'll appreciate it. Hey, what do you mean? Do you want anything to drink, Freya? No! It's alright, Gala. I insist. You don't have to. Please accept it. At least it'll help me stop feeling so guilty. At least a little. There used to be a pain scene, but it was cut from the game. That's probably a good thing. It makes the game flow better. I think that would slow the game down. Alright. I wouldn't mind a coffee. Not an espresso, mind you. Something with a little less of a kick. Yeah, know how to make sugar and spice? The one with cinnamon? Yes. A cup of sugar and spice, please. I think I know how to make this one, but let's double check. Yeah. So, coffee, honey, cinnamon. I made it before when I was doing something. Coffee, honey, cinnamon. Freya's so cute. Sugar and spices for the lady with the vices. Hey! Well, I won't complain. Thank you, Gala. Don't mention it. Starbriar, are you sure there's nothing I can do for you? You don't have to do anything, Gala. It's fine. But to be honest, I'm curious. What happened yesterday? Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, you usually stay indoors during the full moon, don't you? I usually do. But there was an emergency at the hospital yesterday. What kind of emergency? The hospital was really packed yesterday. After that announcement... Announcement? The one saying the replacement government-issued Fury sedative will be available soon. Releasing that news on the day of the full moon was just stupid. So many restless werewolves came, asking about the sedative, which isn't ready yet. But the announcement said it wasn't ready, just that it was coming soon. You think people read the whole article? They only saw the headline or glanced at it at the news stall. Then they went straight to the hospital. I don't blame them, though. Finding out that the only publicly available sedative is dangerous is difficult for some people. I ended up having to explain it to dozens of werewolves. I even had to put some rogue werewolves in the isolation rooms. It was that bad, huh? Yeah, to the point we ran out of rooms to put them in. That's why at the end of my shift I left immediately. Normally I would ask a friend to lock me in one of our isolation rooms, of course, but I couldn't, so I rushed right back to my apartment. But it was too late. Thankfully I was in this area, and I managed to force myself to come to your place. Gala, excuse me for asking this. Yes? But you didn't hurt anybody on the way here, right? As far as I remember, no. And I didn't see any blood on my clothes. That's good to hear. This might sound overly confident, considering what happened yesterday, but I have enough control to make sure I don't hurt anyone, as long as I have something to direct my fury towards. Usually, I end up destroying stuff around me, or worst case, hurting myself. Poor Gala. Despite all that, I'm still glad that no one got hurt. Always looking for the positive side, aren't you? Just doing my job. Thanks, both of you. I really mean it. But please, if there's anything I can do to pay back... if there's anything I can do to help, please don't hesitate to ask me right away. Will do. In the meantime, can I order a drink? Sure, what are you having? The same as yesterday. Okay, let's see if I can remember it from memory. So it's tea, ginger, something. Milk, right? It was tea, milk, ginger? Tea, milk, ginger? Let's look it up, but I want to see if I got that right. Tea, milk, ginger, I got it right! Tea, milk, ginger, I remembered a thing! Which is good, because I have a bad memory. You can fill your brew pad in endless and free brew mode. Cool. Here's your special brew. Thank you. The drink that saved me. Once again, thank you for helping me find this drink. By the way, Gala, now that you can be 100% sure that that drink is your natural sedative, why don't you put some in a bottle and carry it with you everywhere? That's the plan. It has to be warm, though. I can use a vacuum flask, I suppose. I'll give it a try next full moon. Don't worry, Freya. I'm going to stay at my place for the next full moon. I'm not taking any risks. Before I can make sure how effective that remedy is. Phew. Is it going to be Hyde? What the? Oh! Rachel! Rachel! What's going on? Ha! What else? Your father? Of course. What the hell was he thinking? Coming backstage at Coachella. Just to get into an argument with my manager. Huh? Before we continue, Starbriar, a cafe latte, please. Cafe latte. That's just coffee... Coffee milk? No, coffee milk. Coffee milk. Does this shove the phone out of the way? Latte art. Okay, wait. Starting from the top doesn't work as well. Definitely not a good artist for this type of stuff, but it's okay. Because we can just play around. You know, that kind of actually looks like... Not sure. Your cafe latte's ready. Thanks. How did he manage to get backstage? He told security he was my father, and he messaged me about coming beforehand. Said he was just going to wish me luck, so I told him to let him in, of course. He's still my father. Things were nice at first. Then my manager came. And... I don't know why he hates him so much. It's showbiz. I'm mature enough to know what's good or bad for me. What happened after that? Mr. Lester told the security guards to kick him out. He's still allowed in the festival area. I saw him in the crowds. Did the concert go well at least? Oh yeah. Other than the arguments backstage, everything was great. I was the first one to play on the main stage. Usually no one pays much attention to whoever's on first, but there were thousands of people in the audience during my session. Draw a pumpkin. That sounds difficult. Nice. So you don't need to be at the event anymore after this? Not really. I did my stage time, and then there was this press conference after my show. After-show press conference? Yeah, the pre-show was done yesterday. Today was a small one. There was almost a dozen journalists who wanted to interview me, so we decided to just do a mini-conference. Good for you. You're totally back in the game, huh? I guess I am. Thanks to Mr. Lester. I would say it's because of you, but your manager's probably worked some of his influence too. So why are you here? Because of Dad, of course. I told him to come here this evening. We really need to set things straight. He needs to stop messing with my manager so much. And because this evening is the only time we can meet, I can't go to the party Mr. Lester is hosting. What party? He's hosting a party for the VIPs and artists he manages, at a club in Belltown. Is it okay for you to go to the party without a guardian? I'm 18, remember? I'm an adult. Yeah, but you can only enter some clubs if you're 21. Not this time, because Mr. Lester's my manager and it's his party. I'm not sure about that. It's true. No, I know you can do that by using his name, but I don't think he should do that with you. Why? I'm an adult. No, you're not, Rachel. Have you ever been to one of Lester's parties? Well, no. You have? Not personally. I've heard stories. What stories? He knows how to party. That's good then. That's not necessarily a good thing. Knowing how to party might mean something else entirely. I don't know what you're talking about. You'll find out, especially if you keep Lester on as your manager. Personally, I don't mind wild parties, but inviting an underage person to his party, that might be a bit too far. Welcome... Huh? Oh no! Meow. What the hell? Oh no. Dad! What? Rachel, is that Mr. Hendry? Yes! Dad, what happened? Starbriar, can you get a cup of milk for him, please? Just milk? Just milk. Meow. Okay, I need... Speaking of drinks, I need water. The cat needs milk and I need water. Serve it. Oh my gosh, my throat. I've been talking for almost 6 hours now. Also, this game is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Maybe because I've read a bunch of... I don't know, maybe I'm a slow speaker. Here. No, that's so sad. He had to tilt it over. He was so worn out. Thank you. Dad, please hold on. Can somebody call me help me call an ambulance, please? They're on the way. I've contacted the hospital. Thank you. I've also contacted our Nekomimi expert personally. She's off shift right now. Tomodachi. What do we have new in Tomodachi? Rachel. I love my family, cats, milk, and you. I've been dancing, singing, and trying to achieve my dreams since I was 13, and I'm not stopping now. Okay. She's off shift right now, but she's also on the way. Thank you so much. I don't know what might have happened without your help. Don't mention it. Here they come. I'll go with you. Okay. Oh. Hoo boy. Yeah, there might be new stories. Okay, we got 3 new stories. The only reason to learn how to fly, and then Happily Ever After, Happily Ever After, Ever After, Ever After, Part 1 and 2. The Only Reason to Learn How to Fly by Freya Fatima, October 1st, 2020. It happened again, I told her as I exhaled smoke. What? I took the train once to get here and fell in love twice. Not this again, she sighed, looking down like she wanted to stub her own cigarette out on my face. I just can't help it. She said nothing. It's way easier, you know, seeing someone from afar, letting your imagination roam as you daydream about how he or she lives, ignoring the fact that what you see is not the way they really are. It's way easier. You can't keep doing this to yourself. You know you need something real. I mean, this might be a stupid suggestion, but you're still using that dating app, right? Try to be more open-minded while you use it. I agree. Good. I agree that it was a stupid suggestion. She looked pissed. I couldn't blame her. It's not like this was the first time we'd talked about this. In fact, this conversation tended to happen around once a season. You need to stop overthinking, go out, and stop putting impossible expectations on people. You know I can't do that. I've tried. I get overexcited at any opportunity. And how's that served you so far? Now I was the one who said nothing. I'm afraid, I said. Of what? Of what will come later. I'm afraid that even if I find the right person for me, the people around me won't accept them, whoever they are. Fuck the people around you. Another stupid suggestion. I could be jailed for that. Okay. She took a long drag of her cigarette and narrowed her eyes at me. What happened to you recently? Huh? You don't usually overthink quite this much, so something must have just happened. The truth is, something did happen. Something too silly to even be discussed. But she knew me. She knew about my problems, so I told her. I watched a stand-up comedy show. Seriously? It's true. I watched one of my favorite stand-up comedians. I knew he had recently gotten married to someone he loves. Someone I thought was very similar to him. All this time, I thought he took the easy way out, finding someone who would quickly be accepted by the family he was born in and the family he is about to make. But it turned out, his journey was far from easy. There were hardships I never knew he faced, and when he talked about it, it scared me. Why? The fact that I'll have to deal with it someday. The fact that I might have to choose between... I sighed. At least when I see people on the train and imagine a life with them, those imaginary people don't create these kinds of problems. They do create a different kind of problem, though. She's right. You know, sometimes I feel like I want to go to the tallest building in the city and just jump, I said. To die? That's not a... To fly, you fool! Because if that really happened, all the things that are scaring me won't matter. I can fly! Why the hell would I still care about all these boring everyday problems? Ain't that the dream, weirdo, she said as she lit another cigarette, leaving the discussion unresolved until it comes back around with the spring rains. The only reason to learn how to fly. Okay. Oh wow, this one's even longer. And not just for the fact that it has two parts, but like, look at the bar. The scroll bar. Okay. Do I want to grow old with you? No, I don't want to do that. But I do want to be with you, here in this moment, stuck in eternal limbo, in an infinite loop of this exact hour forever? Hell yeah, I do. That's probably the last time Romeo remembers having a really meaningful conversation with Juliet. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, dear readers. Just like any other story, this one also has a beginning, and it begins with an introduction. Romeo is a young man of 20. He comes from a quite conservative but not yet out-of-touch family. In other words, they're just like almost every other family in the world. He hates the name his parents gave him, and he hates it even more knowing that his life so far is fulfilling all the cliches of his fictional namesakes. Falling in love with a girl named Juliet is really just the icing on the cliched cake. Juliet is a young woman of 20. She also comes from a quite conservative but not yet out-of-touch family. In other words, they're also just like almost every other family in the world. She loves the name her parents gave her, although she hates the fact that her life is so far fulfilling half the cliches of her fictional namesakes. Falling in love with a boy named Romeo is unfortunate, but she has no plans to die stupidly over it. Both of them study at the same university, and they're definitely not the type of people who would naturally choose to be friends. Fate, however, in the form of a hip young lecturer with an overenthusiasm for inciting group projects and an unfortunate sense of humor, is what brings them together. A simple group project is what introduces our young Romeo and Juliet to each other. Even after their first fated meeting, and the many, many more meetings required to finish the assignment, there's no sign that Romeo means anything more to Juliet than a friendly acquaintance she spent a lot of time in the library with. Nor, honestly, does she mean that much more to him. In fact, after she made an ill-judged joke about the literary elephant in the room, she probably means significantly less. But as time goes on, as the group assignments keep coming without the lecturer ever assigning new partners, Romeo and Juliet become closer. They both begin to see things in the other that they hadn't noticed before. Though for Romeo, that fact is rather frightening. How could I fall for somebody like her, and named Juliet no less? I can't accept it. My mind just playing tricks on me. Again and again, Around and around, his thoughts chase themselves whenever he sees her. The day is Monday, and Romeo has a class he needs to attend. However, something is different. Normally a relatively anxious fellow, he finds going to a class requires a lot of willpower. Today, however, he finds himself hurrying to get there. He knows why, of course, but he refuses to admit it to himself quite yet. The first thing Romeo does when he opens the door is to look at a specific table, the table where Juliet always sits. To his unacknowledged disappointment, the table is empty. Fuck, mutters Romeo under his breath. He doesn't curse because Juliet is not there, of course. Rather, he curses because noticing this was the first thing he did upon entering the room. After sitting in his usual place, Romeo reopens his book and begins reading. Every time someone opens the door, Romeo turns immediately to look and quietly whispers a curse. Again, he is not cursing because he is disappointed it is not Juliet who enters. He is cursing because he turned to look. A few minutes before the class begins, Juliet finally arrives, announcing herself and her friend with a braying laugh as she does so. The sound used to be one of the most annoying sounds in the world, at least as far as Romeo was concerned, but today it brings a small smile to his face. Fuck, curses Romeo again after he realizes he just smiled at the sound. Is Romeo in love? He probably is, but he doesn't want to admit that. Falling in love with Juliet is dangerous, extremely dangerous. They come from completely different backgrounds, they have different skin colors, and they worship different gods. He has no problem with interracial relationships, of course he doesn't. But he never expected it to happen to him. This simply will not do. I need to talk to you. Romeo looks up. Juliet is standing over his table. Her jaw is set, but her eyes are worried, and he completely forgets all about his own problems. What's up, he asks. Can you keep a secret? It's really important. Sure, I guess I can. Good enough, because I really need someone to talk to. So Juliet sits down and begins telling her story to Romeo. She's talking about the problems she's been facing over the past few months, how they affect her study, about how he's not the first person she's talked to about this, on, and Romeo listens to every word. Eventually, Juliet stops talking and sits quietly. Romeo thinks that she looks somehow lighter than she did before she began talking. He doesn't know how to react to what she told him. He tries giving her some advice. Really stupid advice, he thinks as soon as he said it, but he believes it's probably much better than just listening and nodding and watching her walk away. He doesn't think he wants her to walk away from him. He thinks about this. One thing is for sure. Juliet trusts Romeo as a friend. They've shared a secret now. Even though Juliet has shared the same secret with others before him, this still makes Romeo happy. So damn happy. How pathetic am I, being happy because someone I like came and told me she's not? Romeo thinks, and then shakes his head like a dog shaking off water. After sharing everything she had wanted to share, Juliet starts talking about lighter topics. Soon they are joking freely. The dark mood of earlier almost completely dissipated. Just before Juliet leaves, Romeo asks her something. Why did you tell me all that? Well, I don't really know. I think I can trust you, and you're one of those rare few people who can talk to people directly without sugarcoating everything. It's refreshing, she shrugs. I guess that's why. What Juliet said is true, but Romeo finds it amusing that even though he normally speaks directly to everyone he knows, he can't do that with Juliet. He is not himself when she's around, or so he believes. Hydrate? Thank you. Even after that conversation, Romeo falls even more helplessly in love with Juliet. It's stupid, he thinks, as someone who rarely falls so hard for anyone, but Juliet is driving him crazy. And the fact that she makes him feel the closest thing to love he's felt in years, yet a big wall of culture's norms, and other societal traditions stands between them, hurts him even more. That is, of course, if Juliet is even into him anyway. As weeks go by, Juliet and Romeo become closer. They start telling each other stories more often. But all of these stories are limited to their courses, their friends, and anything at all besides their feelings for each other. She's not into me. She's just an extrovert. She's friendly with everyone, Romeo keeps thinking. And when he's thinking about that suddenly Juliet comes and sits at his table. So you said you wanted to tell me something. It's true. He has already sent a message to Juliet telling her he wanted to talk about something. Oh, wow. Driving straight in. It's nothing all that important, actually, says Romeo. Come on, it's not like you to be so indirect about things. What's wrong with you, boyo? Romeo actually called Juliet to talk about her attitude recently. She's been weird, at least in Romeo's eyes, and it feels like she's getting farther away, removing herself from many student activities she'd usually partake in. Juliet answers all his questions, all his thoughts and concerns about how she seems to be removing herself from all other side activities she manages to shrug off or easily explain. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm obsessing over every single thing she does, thinks Romeo, while a pit opens up in his gut at the thought. Is that all? Anything else you want to say? She questions him. Fair is fair after all. Do you know that I used to like you? The words come out from Romeo's mouth out of the blue. He's horrified even as he recognizes that it's a lie. He still likes her now. He doesn't even know why he decided to confess his feelings right at this random moment. Never mind why he confessed with half a lie. It wasn't planned at all, but when he heard Juliet say anything else, well, it's definitely one thing Romeo has been planning to say to Juliet for the last few thousand eons, or as normal humans measure time since 8 months ago. Juliet then flashes a look of... Juliet shows a flash of surprise and then says, "No, I had no idea at all. Why? Why what? Why do you like me? Or did you like me? I mean, there must be a reason." Oh, of course there is. Romeo opens his mouth to tell her and pauses. He blinks slowly and closes his mouth again. Or not. I don't know. I think there is, but I am not sure. Ugh, I'm sorry. I'm talking gibberish. Juliet does not respond to that. Romeo doesn't even dare to look at her directly, but he can see out of the corner of his eyes that she looks dumbfounded. He takes a breath and opens his mouth again, hoping for a lightning strike. Divine inspiration or instant death. He isn't picky. Okay, I see you as a really strong person, okay? You have a big girly side, but you're also a really strong, independent person. Okay, I get the girly part, but what makes you think I'm strong? Well, just look at how you work with all of your assignments and organizations. I definitely could never deal with everything as well as you do, ever. Oh, come on, everybody has something they're good at. You can do things I can't. That's pretty normal, you know. I know, but still, I'm not sure. That's probably what attracts me to you most. When he says that, Romeo tries looking at Juliet, just for a moment. He saw a twitch of a smile on her lips, but dared not even hope. He ascribes it to his imagination and said, "So what's next then?" asked Juliet. "To be honest, I don't know. I said this because I can't keep hiding it forever. I needed to say it to you even though I know it's impossible for me to ask you out considering all the differences between us." Juliet pauses. "Oh, of course. You don't need to say anything, though. I just needed to get it out of my system. That's all I wanted to say." "Well, okay then. I have something else to do. You don't have anything more to say, right?" No, that's all." Juliet nods and says goodbye, then quickly walks away. After Juliet leaves, Romeo lets out a heavy sigh. Good work there. That's one hell of a lot of old baggage I just let go, and a whole hell of a lot of new baggage I replaced it with. Here's an interesting fact about our Romeo. During the whole conversation, he hadn't been able to keep himself from shaking. It's an old habit that he just can't let go of. To his relief, they'd been sitting during the whole conversation so he could hide his tremor. Still, even though he feels intense relief after telling Juliet about his feelings, his hands are still trembling. He has to wait a couple of minutes before he can walk away himself. So now, after Romeo's long-awaited but ultimately useless confession, what's next for our Juliet and our Romeo? Funnily enough, neither she nor Romeo ever mention it again. At least not to each other. Romeo did eventually tell some of his friends about his feelings for Juliet. But what about Juliet? Romeo didn't know anything about how she was coping with this revelation. He expected that she had probably told some of her friends, as he had told his. But that doesn't even matter, he tells himself. We're not meant for each other anyway. Watching from the outside, nothing seems to change between them. They still talk about their classes, about their friends, about shows they've watched and books they've read. But they never ever mention again the time when Romeo revealed his feelings to Juliet. At first, Romeo had thought that confessing his feelings would mean letting go of a big boulder inside his heart. As it turned out, it only transformed the boulder into a restless rock monster, asking for more. Okay, there's an ad break, so let's get water. Wow, we're 6 hours into this. We're getting close. I can feel it. We're getting close to the end. Okay, so let's see. Eventually he realizes Letting Juliet know about his feelings isn't enough. He needs to have her. He wants to hold her tight. He wants to stare into her eyes and tell her he loves her to Pluto and back. He wants to hear her say, "I love you too." He wants to kiss her. He wants to run away with her to a place where no one cares about their differences and just sees them as a cute couple in love. He wants to do all good things in life together with her, and more than anything on this earth, he simply wants her. The feeling is killing him. How could she be acting normally after that revelation? Does it mean his feelings mean nothing to her at all? The peak of his emotions comes one day when our hero is falling asleep. Suddenly his body is drenched in sweat, his heart beats too fast, and his thoughts only run to one thing: Juliet. He wants, no, nothing so prosaic, he needs Juliet. He doesn't care about anything else, about the traditions, about their families, about anything. There's only one thing he needs to do tomorrow, and that is to confess his feelings, again, to Juliet. This time, however, he is going to ask her out. If she feels the same way, he'll ask her to just give it a try and fight the world together. He resolves that he is going to take a leap of faith, and it will be the first thing he does the next time they meet. To be continued. Okay. This part is a little shorter, but it's still long. Happily ever after, ever after, ever after. Part 2. It doesn't happen the next time Romeo and Juliet meet. When Romeo sees her, he knows something isn't right. After that, each time he sees her, he feels uncomfortable, almost afraid. Our hero isn't scared of much, but he can't explain how she makes him feel. As though she's surrounded by a fierce, powerful aura that keeps him from approaching. It takes a few days for whatever it is to fade when that sense of danger finally eases up. Romeo finds he has the courage to approach her. Cunningly, he waits until the end of a night class when both of them are ready to go home. "Hey Jules, are you heading back? Let me drive you home." "No, it's fine. I'll just call an Uber. I have something I need to tell you though." Her expression quickly changes to one Romeo's never before seen. An uncomfortable looking mixture between happy, sad, and angry. He finds he doesn't know what to call it. She peers at him. "What's it about?" "It's about, you know the thing I told you a few months ago?" The slight smile he saw when he first confessed his feelings returns to her face. "Okay, let's go for a drive. I know a good place to talk." Juliet directs Romeo sporadically, and they chat normally to fill the intervening time until they reach what she reveals to be their destination. A large, dark, empty park. "Huh, I didn't know there was a park around here." "You know nothing, Romeo." "Hey, what? You said you don't read or watch Game of Thrones." She side-eyes him. "It's all over the internet, my dude." "Good point. Well made." Our heroes climb over the locked gate and meander slowly along the paths until they find a bench, and an unspoken decision has them both sit down at the same time. By this point, it's close to midnight. The drive has been long, and he had driven slower than usual to stretch out their time together. The sky is bright with stars, while the full moon hangs heavy on the horizon. A warm and gentle breeze brings with it the scent of wet earth and green growing things, and far distant clouds tease them with the idea of rain before morning. It is Romeo feels perfect, as though God had created it, especially for them in this moment. "So," says Juliet, lowering her gaze from the milky splash of stars above them to meet his eyes, "what do you want to talk to me about?" And Romeo thinks, "What the hell?" and jumps right in. "I told you I liked you. Do you remember?" "Yes, it was a lie." Her eyes narrow. "What do you mean?" "Oh, careful, dear Romeo. You should not play with a woman's heart." "I still like you. I never stopped liking you. And every day I like you more, and I don't think I can go another day without telling you how I feel." "Oh, I know." His jaw snaps shut and he blinks rapidly. This is not what he thought she would say. "What, is it that obvious?" "No, but it was kind of easy to guess." "Ah, okay, so yeah, there's that. And, you know when I first told you how I felt? I thought it would help me clear my head. I wanted it to. But since then it's haunted me. Why did I want that? I think of you and I want to see you. I see you and I want to talk to you." He continues, laying bare all the things he's been thinking of these past few weeks, culminating in an impassioned plea. "I know it probably won't end well, but I want to be with you. I want us to try." Juliet takes his hand and squeezes it, feels the tremble in his fingers and says nothing about it. "Romeo, I like you," she begins, and his heart near bursts. "I like you a lot, and not only as a friend. But you know that, with our backgrounds and our families, it's impossible for us to be together." "I know that, Juliet. I know. But I really like spending time with you. When Whenever I talk to you, I feel so happy and so scared. Why would you feel scared? Because I don't want to say anything that will make you think less of me. I want to look perfect in front of you, even though whenever we're together, it feels like I can only show all of my imperfections. Hey, nobody's perfect. They sit quietly for a moment, still holding hands. Romeo stares at their intertwined fingers while Juliet watches the breeze ripple through the trees. Still feels weird, our heroine muses, almost to herself. You told me that you liked me and I thought it could never work. And then you said the same and I was disappointed somehow. And now you're here telling me to forget about the rules and I'm the one saying they're important? Oh, tell me about it. I don't even know where this is all coming from. You don't like what I like, and I don't like what you like, and please don't get me started on the fact that your favorite book is the single worst thing I have ever read. Huh? You mean The Secret? Yes. Oh God, please let's not talk about it now, okay? She tilts her head back and laughs, and Romeo remembers that he used to hate that sound a long, long time ago. Okay, let's not talk about it, but if you know that our relationship won't go well, why do you keep telling me how you feel? Why don't you just try to forget me? I've tried, he sighs, squeezing her hand gently. 6-hour stream. Right? Welcome back, Pug. I think we're nearing the end, but turns out there's a couple stories in the Whisper, and they are long. This one's about Romeo and Juliet, but not the Romeo and Juliet from history, or from the play. A different Romeo and Juliet. Yes, long. I've tried, he sighs, squeezing her hand gently, but every conversation with you is enough to make me remember that you mean so much to me. You don't listen to explosions in the sky, but you're what I think of whenever I do. You don't play video games as much as me, but you on my team is what I want the most whenever I play a multiplayer game. We pray to different gods, but your face is the one that appears whenever I pray for a good future. Juliet doesn't say anything. She just looks into his eyes while listening to everything he's been keeping in his head and his heart for a long time. Before this, I always thought that when I fell in love with someone, it would be with a person that I wanted to grow old with. Do I want to grow old with you? No, I don't want to do that. But do I want to be with you here in this moment, stuck in eternal limbo, in an infinite loop of this exact hour forever? Hell yeah, I do. Neither Romeo nor Juliet speak for some time after that. They just keep staring at each other. They don't know what it is, but they surely feel something strange. Something magical is happening between them now. A delicate thing which twists in the air around them, young and oh so fragile. Do you love me? Juliet asks quietly. I'm not sure, Romeo answers. But if it's not love, then I don't know what it is. But if it is love, why don't you want to grow old with me? Because it is just love. You're such a weirdo. I don't know why I ever fell in love with you, says Juliet. Right at that moment, Romeo feels joy in his heart, a tsunami of happiness sweeping through his body, destroying all the baggage that has been messing with his head and heart for so many months. But then reality hits as suddenly as the joy. Everything happens in a single instant. In just that one moment, Romeo feels the greatest happiness and the greatest sadness he's ever felt in his life. Hey, I might not be worth you sacrificing everything, especially your family. But if love is really that special, then maybe it'll give us another chance to be together, even though maybe it can only happen in another life when we are both cats, says Romeo. Did you just quote Vanilla Sky at me? I can't believe you did that. That's hilarious that you said that. You know I hate that movie. It's a great movie. How the hell did I manage to fall in love with you again? Both of them start to laugh together, continuing until all the laughter drains into simple smiles. A simple, beautiful curve on their lips that shows a deeper meaning, only for the two of them. I love you, says Romeo. I love you too, I guess, answers Juliet. They sit closer now while holding hands. Juliet puts her head on Romeo's shoulder. Is it worth it, she asks. For now, right at this moment, it's totally worth it. But whether that feeling will last as time goes by, as more people find out about it, I don't know. Juliet sighs quietly. Life sucks sometimes. Life sucks most of the time. That's why I want to make this moment last forever, if that's even possible. It's possible if we believe it. Is that what that weird book taught you last, Romeo? Shut up, Juliet answers and pinches his hand. They stay silent for a while. Hey, kiss me. The words come from Juliet. Romeo doesn't really know how to react to that. Why, he asks. I've heard people say that a kiss is a magical thing. It can stop time, or take you to the future in an instant. I've heard that story. I always thought it was silly, though. The situation we're stuck in is pretty silly, too, you know. Good point, he allows. Well made. So? So... They stare at each other. As they lean in, they close their eyes. When their lips touch for the first time, it's the strangest sensation either of them has ever felt. Everything feels so magical. It feels as if time has stopped, only for them, as if they're in an infinite loop of that exact moment. To be continued. Okay, where were we here? Oh yeah, right, Freya's dad. Not Freya's dad, Jesus. Rachel's dad. Rachel's dad is in the going to the hospital now. We don't know exactly what happened, but he looks beat up. Okay. Whew, boy. That was really something, huh? Yeah. 2 days in a row. An emergency at your place. Well, at least some people think of your place as their go-to when they need help. You're right. It's not every day you look at things from the bright side. Ha! Well, I'm one of your copy shop disciples, right? So I kinda understand them. I hope Hendry's alright. Me too. At least he's in good hands now. What's your plan for the rest of the night? Well, that was all pretty hectic, but I need to continue writing. Take your time and place, then. Will do. Spice Lady, a British chocolate drink extremely popular in the 90s. How many more days do we have left? I'm curious. I don't know. Sunday, October 4th, 2020. We're open on a Sunday? Cool. Fight broke out during Coachella. Culprits in police custody. Despite the arrest, Coachella will go on. Police raid on private Coachella after party as biggest drug and sex-related bust of the year. Welcome. Hey, Pop. Good evening, everyone. Everyone safe and sound tonight? So far, so good, officer. With the cop who's supposed to be watching this area hanging out in a coffee shop, I'm not so sure about that. Hey, I'm working right now. I just love multitasking, you know? That requires skill. Taking a break and working at the same time, you mean? You know it. That's an oxymoron. That's why I said it requires skill. Anyway, Starbriar, I really need an espresso to keep me awake tonight. Okay, espresso is just coffee, 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 right? Yeah. And that's exactly how it makes you feel too. Just coffee, 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 coffee. An energetic espresso to keep our officer upright on patrol. Heh, you and your sense of humor. Your espressos are always out of this world. Definitely better than mine or my wife's. It's not a competition, officer. Ha! It is for her. She thought if she could make a better one, I'd stop coming to this place so often. That's not happening anytime soon. So, anything special today? Surprisingly, no. Gotta make sure this place is safe, though. What are you grinning about? I mean it. You were here the last 2 days, right? Yes, I was. And some crazy things happened here. And 2 days in a row. And if the gods were trying to give me first-hand experience to use in my story... Still fretting over your story, eh? I think I misread that. What did it say? As if the gods were trying to give me first-hand experience to use in my story. Still fretting over your story, eh? Well, the deadline for my draft is getting nearer. Oh yeah. How's it going? Quantity-wise, it's shaping up pretty well. Quality-wise, honestly, I'm pretty confident. Oh, nice! Best of luck then. Do you have any updates about the last 2 days of chaos? For the werewolf case, I spoke to Gala about it. What? Are you going to arrest him? Some officers at the precinct were talking about it, but in the end, we agreed not to do it, because he really helped a lot that night. We asked the folks in the hospital and some other people in the area. Without him, we would have had a lot more problems. He helped a lot getting most of the werewolves safe in the hospital. Too bad he couldn't lock himself up in time. Thankfully, he didn't hurt anyone. So those who would rather detain him can't do anything anyway. Phew. I'd be pretty mad at you if they did arrest him. Hey, being mad at me wouldn't solve anything. I know. What about Rachel's dad? Any idea what happened? I'm not too sure myself. Most of it didn't happen around here. What? Yeah, it seems like it happened out near Coachella. That's a long way away. I mean, it's not actually that far, but he wouldn't be able to walk it. Not in that state. So far, that's all I know. Hey, it's Rachel! Rachel! Rachel. Is Mr. Hendry alright? Before that, if I have a cup of hot chocolate, dark. Wait, dark hot chocolate? So wouldn't that just be... chocolate, chocolate, chocolate? Dark chocolate. Serve it. Your hot chocolate's ready. Thank you. Dad's going to be fine. He woke up this afternoon. Thanks to Mr. Gala, he got help fast enough to stop things getting worse. He's doing okay then? It'll take a few days before he fully recovers, but no permanent injuries we need to worry about. That's good to hear. I know. But still, it's all because of me. Because I didn't listen to him, when all he wanted to do was protect me. Rachel, don't blame yourself for this. Please don't take offense. But is it okay for you to leave your father alone in the hospital? His friends are there at the moment, and I can't face being stuck in a room with a bunch of people I don't even know right now. Besides, I really needed to get away for a bit, so I told Dad I'm going to visit Coffee Talk to get some fresh air. He's okay with that? He understands. He always does, I guess. Miss Rachel, what really happened last night? Dad got into a fight with some thugs. He heard them talking about me in some very suggestive, perverted ways. Oh. He didn't like that, of course, so he morphed into his cat form and started a fight with the thugs. Why did he morph? So people wouldn't see what his human form looked like, and link him directly to me. Some cops went to the crime scene. They found some eyewitnesses to testify, and they managed to find the thugs. Are they fans of yours? No. It's even worse. They work for Mr. Lester. What? Hoo boy. The reason why it didn't take long for the cops to find them was because they were already under arrest. Because the party went too far last night. Whoa. How did it all connect up? They are Mr. Lester's bodyguards. They were chilling after the show, having a pre-party before the big one. And you know about guys in locker room talk, right? Yeah. Well, that's what they were doing. And I was the topic of discussion. Ugh. So, there's that. I'm sorry to hear that. And you were right about his party. I'm glad I wasn't there. Once again, I owe Dad for... Hey, it's okay. The most important thing right now is that you're safe, and your dad made it through. I should have listened to him. He might be out of touch, but he's still way more experienced than me. And he's my father. I wish Mom was here. She'd know what to do. She'd know what to say to Dad when he's recovered. You know what? I'm sure you'll know what to do. You're an adult, remember? But I don't know. All I know is I have to be there for him when... That's it. That's all you have to do. It might be weird to hear it about something coming from Freya, but she is right. Be there when he needs you, Rachel. And whenever you need a breath of fresh air, you can come here and relax for a while. Guys, thank you. I've had enough fresh air for one day. I'll go back to the hospital now. Thank you for the update, Miss Rachel. I wish your father a speedy recovery. Thank you, Starbriar. Man, what a weekend. Pretty crazy, I know. Anyway, I've got to continue my patrol. It's been a pretty weird weekend. Yep, I hydrated. I need it. I might need a little more, actually. Probably what I need is a lozenge after I'm done with this. Talkie games apparently take a lot longer for me than average, so that's something for me to learn and know for the future. It's been a pretty weird weekend. But overall, things are still safe around here. But even with that, never let your guard down, okay? No problem, officer. Thank you for checking up on us, Officer Georgie. Okay then, see you. Okay, now it's just me and Freya. Are you going to leave as well, Freya? I don't think so. I've had enough rest, and I have stories to write. You're not tired? Definitely not. In fact, I think I can get it done today. Alright. I won't bother you then. Oh, you're never a bother. Besides, this whole book project would never have existed without this place. And you. So, thank you. The pleasure was mine. And I'm sure you shouldn't spend any more time on chit-chat. You got a book to finish. No problem, boss. Okay, I wonder if this is our last day. Two weeks later. Yeah, it's probably our last day. More women have spoken out and claimed Morris Lester lied. Initial reports indicate possible herpes outbreak at Coachella. Coachella Festival proves to be a major boost for Seattle tourism. Hey, we got so many people in here. Hello! You're finally here. Hey, all. Hey, yo. Hey, Freya. Huh, someone's feeling happy today. Of course. Did they? They approved it! We're so happy for you. Congrats. Oh my. Do you know how happy I am? Judging from your expression, I'd say somewhere between ecstatically and rapturously. You're goddamn right. Oh my god. Oh my god. How did they react to the draft? Surprisingly, they liked it. That's amazing. I know, right? I couldn't believe it either. They told me if the book sells well, they'll definitely sign me for a second book. I'm so happy for you. Anyway, whatever happens with the book now, I can take things a little slower. Because they gave me a year to finish it. With a feedback session every month. Sounds professional enough? Of course! They are the biggest publisher around. Enough about me. How's the coffee shop been doing? It's been great. We've had a lot of new customers lately. And some old timers, of course. I heard Hyde's back from his trip to Korea. Yeah, he brought us some gifts back. He didn't get any for me? I'm not sure, but he did say he always gives gifts directly. Gift giving the old-fashioned way, huh? How about you? Things are great. Last time I saw you was before your mini break? Yes, we decided to go to Coachella. Wow! The event was a mess. Yeah, 3 hours at the festival was enough for us. So where'd you go after that? We ended up in Port Townsend. How was it? I enjoyed it. Never knew a historical trip could be fun. Oh yeah, I saw your new profile picture, Aqua. She has a new profile picture? Oh my god, adorable. Look at this. Cute. You both look so cute. Oh man. Thanks. Was that taken during your vacation? No. It was taken at Max. They had a Japanese-style photo booth there. So I forced her to take a picture together. You were at Max too, Myrtle? Yeah. I helped her out a bit with the booth. Thank you. You don't have to keep thanking me. By the way, have any of you heard from Neil? No. Not me. They did send 2 postcards to the coffee shop. Really? Yeah, one's from Coachella. That's not even that far away. Why send a postcard? Hard to tell with them. What about the second one? It's from New York. What? What are they doing in New York? Beats me. Working on their mission, maybe? Ha, yeah, probably. They'd stand more of a chance there. Anyway, guys. We're leaving for the night. Oh, come on. So soon? We were here for hours before you arrived, and we need to work tomorrow. Fair enough. Take care on your way, then. Good luck with the novel. Thanks. See you, Starbriar. See you around. They look happier than when I first met them. They do. It's not easy to find someone you can be comfortable with in such a short amount of time. Yeah. Anyway. Sorry if it seems like I'm ignoring you, Baileys. No worries. I don't feel ignored at all. Are you by yourself tonight? No, I'm waiting for Lua. She has some work to do. This late at night? Yeah. She's been doing overtime for the past few days. How are the two of you doing? Things have been great. In fact, after 10 years together, we're finally moving in together next month. Wow, congrats! But I thought Lua lived with her flatmate. We're moving to a new place. She got promoted recently, and her company's providing her with an apartment. Wow, she must be a really big deal in her office. Well, she definitely earns more than me. That's not saying much, Baileys. You shouldn't say that to a fellow freelancer. Oh, here she comes. So we're getting sort of caught up on everybody. Baileys, I'm so sorry. I didn't expect it to take so long. I thought I'd be done by... Honey. It's alright. Freya and Starbriar have been keeping me company anyway. Oh, hey Freya. And Starbriar. Sorry for barging in without saying hi. How's it going? I would say things are great. But not as great as you two lovebirds. You told her already? Only about the moving in part. As you've heard, we're going to move in together next month. Where is it? Not far. I mean, the company provided the place, so they want to cut my commuting costs as much as possible. That's thoughtful of them. It means they don't need to reimburse my taxi fees when I'm working overtime. Oh yeah, that too. It also means we get to visit this place more often. Yay! That's a good point. We owe this coffee shop a lot anyway. Don't mention it. I have a question for both of you. Go on. The last time we met, I believe you two were going to introduce Baileys to your parents. How did it go? Man, her father didn't kill me at least. But at least Papa let you eat lunch with us. That's rare, you know. I know. And at least they didn't say no. Which means a lot, I guess. It was a good start. It was definitely a good start. Anyway, Baileys, we need to go now, or we'll miss the intro again. You folks going somewhere? Yeah, we're going to watch the midnight screening of Full Metal Conflict. I didn't take you for someone who likes FMC, Lua. I don't, but this guy loves it. Hey, you always enjoyed watching me play the game. I enjoyed watching you, not the game. Too bad I didn't introduce you to Muriel just now, Baileys. She worked on the game. Really? Oh, well, I'll be visiting this place more often. I'll probably meet her again one of these days. You probably will. Now go, you lovebirds. You don't want to miss the movie. Alright, catch up with you later, Freya. Bye, Starbriar. Enjoy the movie. And now it's just us. There they go. I'm so happy for them. They've still got a long way to go, and probably a lot of obstacles in their path. But they're moving forward. Yes. How will you write their story? As it is. It's beautiful enough, and it has enough drama. Ha! That's one way to put it. Anyway. What's that look for? You haven't told me about any of our other friends here. How are they doing? You only skipped coming for 10 days. What do you expect? Come on, they played an important part of my writing process, remember? Well, there are some updates about the regulars. Tell me. Where should we start? Lua visits this place more often now that they live nearby. The last time they came, they were talking about catering and venues. Hyde returned from a trip to Korea and brought gifts. Some are more special than others. He said he's considering moving back to Seattle if his agency allows it. Aqua continues her work with the university. She's still working on small indie games. The difference is, she's not alone now. The cuffs, right? Neil? The only news about their superhero breeding mission are the 2 postcards they sent me. Rachel is back at the recording studio preparing for her first solo album. She found a new manager, someone who made the news as a legend coming back to the industry. Her father. And finally, Freya. She finished her book, got published, and have some signing sessions. It was a massive success, sold out even after the 4th printings, and might be adapted into something. I don't know what happened. It went too fast. If I wasn't reading it out loud, I could have read it all in time. But I'm a slower talker than a reader. This music's good. We did it. We experienced Coffee Talk. I don't feel like I can say that we beat Coffee Talk. It feels more like an experience than like something you beat. So yeah, that took 6.5 hours instead of the 4.5 that I estimated. So that's a thing. I've learned a thing. I take longer to do this type of thing than the average, probably because I'm reading it all out loud. Development cats. Bailey's. And Lua. And Tofu. I was over main plus extra but less than completionist. Interesting. How over main plus extra was I? Because it wasn't main plus extra like 4.5, 5 hours. It's 5.5? Oh, okay. I did do a lot of extra stuff by like reading all those stories of Freya's. And they're thanking us. So sweet. Second game, same time next week. No. No, 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 no. I've learned a thing. I need to do this type of game. Oh. Hello. Welcome. Hello, Starbriar. Good evening, sir. Have we met before? I'm sure this is your first time here. Of course I've been here. In fact, I've worked here before. What? Wait. No way. Is that really you? It's been a while. You've changed. A bit too much. I've learned a lot about how to live with your people since then. No way! No way! I assume it was a success then? Multiple successes. What's with the new look then? Just trying to blend in. It seems like an Earthling immigration agency is after me. Now that you mention it, somebody did visit this place looking for you. Oh no, he's hot! I like his hair. When was it? Not so long after your second visit here. Was he a bald guy in a suit? Yes. That FIRE agent. You've seen him? Yes. Thankfully, I've changed my appearance since then. By the way, you can drop the act in front of me. So you finally noticed. To think that such power can be born from our kind. You're good with your act, though. It took a few tries. But there are some timelines where I forget to pretend that I don't have some knowledge of certain stuff. Heh, interesting. Now I'm curious to know about those mistakes. Well, it happened a few times. First, when Freya told me about her meeting in the elevator. Then it was the first time Rachel visited this place. And the last one involved you on your second visit. Huh? Oh, and there was another one right after Freya got her draft approved. Can you show it to me? Assuming you know how I communicate with my kind. Never tried it, but let's see. You've beaten the main story of the game, but you haven't seen everything yet. What? What? I'm a time traveler? I'm a time traveler! What the heck? Oh, my poor throat hurts. I shouldn't have pushed myself to do this the whole way, but I thought that I was getting near the end perpetually for like 2 hours. If I do a talkie game like this again, I probably should limit myself to like a 3-hour stream. Because it's hard on my throat to talk this much constantly. So that's good to know for the future for if I do more of these types of endings. I didn't get a bad ending. There's a bad ending? I guess it would. It is a visual novel. It is a visual novel. Oh boy. Ah, I'm so tired. I'm so sleepy.